Peace and blessings, everyone. It's your girl Mocaso, and we are right back at it with the High Creators for yet another way for how you can create custom movements for your avatars. And this is something that they are trying right now so that we can see how you can see these different ways and try to start using all the different things that you've been learning to put it together, figure it out, and get things done. I see we've got a lot of people here enjoying it. Appreciate everyone that's here with us or watching wherever you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you're at, whether it's now or the replay. We hope you're enjoying this, learning a lot, and coming to the metaverse because they're here building and looking for those that are enjoying this information. So I will let the High Creators take it over again, and everyone enjoy. Drop your questions in the chat if you have any, and yeah, let's get it.
Awesome. So, what's up, everybody? This is actually a kind of experimental video, and we say experimental because I haven't myself tried to do custom animations. That's the way that we're going to be doing them here. So, the video that we did last, we got the animations already done from mixamo, and we just imported them and applied them basically to our profile or to our avatars. But what if you wanted to, for example, you have your Ready Player Me, you have your Haikun, or any other character that of your preference that you have rigged with Mixamo, for example, provided you have a humanoid uh, skeleton. And in Blender, you actually manage to do a custom walk cycle or do a little custom wave or a dance that's specific to your character because you made it from scratch. You would also love to have that usable in Spatial. So that's what we're going to try to do today. We're going to do it really simple. We're going to be creating, I don't know, something like a wave or like a custom emote to prove the concept that we can extract anything that we animate in Blender, or mostly anything that we can animate in Blender using a humanoid rig, and translate it to Unity and apply everything that we did in the last video. So yeah, without without much ado, let's. So for this one, you're gonna need Blender. So I'm using Blender 3.4. There's actually 3.5, if I'm not mistaken, or 3.5.1, and it's actually pretty powerful. I haven't downloaded it yet because I have the 3.4 version already optimized with my hotkeys, with my shortcuts, and I could translate it over to the 3.5, but I really want to do a deep dive with 3.5. But that's the second. So, okay, what we want to do is, and by the way, I'm gonna go almost kind of full speed, mostly with how I do things, but I will try to explain what I'm doing as I'm doing. So, if anybody has any questions about what I'm doing, feel free to ask or drop it in the chat. So I'm gonna start with a Haikun that I know I have already optimized, and that is over. Yeah, wait. So every time that I switch, or I guess duplicate files from one Blender file to another, I almost every time like to use the append feature because it'll import it to your current scene as you left it in the original scene. So right now I wanted to import uh, a Haikun that I had prepared for Mixamo, and I actually launched it through Unity. But I don't remember if I have it all under a collection or if I have it under an armature. Either way, it's preferred if you have multiple objects defining the thing that you want to input to have it inside of a collection, because that way you ensure that everything is uh, imported correctly. Because if not, maybe something that is inside of your armature could get left behind because it wasn't parented or inside of the folder that it needed to be exported or related to the armature. So what I'm gonna do here is make sure that I have the item that I want under a collection. That way I only import the whole collection. And that was actually somewhere here. Um, and actually for this, I think this is sufficient. This is a full plate collaboration that we did with Expo Beauty. So, okay. So wait. I know I have, I know I have something a little bit more exotic that where so here you can see me and my messy glory of Blender files. But I do know what everything is and how everything is mostly. You just gotta trust me on that. You know what? We're gonna do the we're gonna do the full plate one. But I don't. Oh wait, no, yes, I know where they are, and they're actually file, and mm, they're actually in the item for minutes. Where is item for minutes? I think it's this. And if not, honestly, we're gonna go back to the first one. Yep, yep. I think it's this one. Hmm. Okay. So you see, right now, if I select all of the hierarchy of the armature, I do get the hydroom that I want. But if I only append the armature, the only thing that is going to be imported into my new thing would be the skeleton. So to make sure that I have everything under the armature, I'm just going to go ahead and left right click this, new collection, going to create a new collection somewhere. Aha, this one. So rename it. And rename it something that you can identify when you're looking through the folder. So we're literally gonna put icon for workshop, and it'll be the only thing referring to a workshop file. So I'm gonna make sure that's this one. I'm gonna drag it. Wait, yeah, drag it, and you see that we actually have one of the weapons outside of the armature, so it was gonna be a whole mess. So now we make sure that everything is under one collection. Make sure to save it, and it shouldn't be a problem since you haven't changed anything actually out of your file. You just reorganize something here, so you can go ahead and close it. And in your new one, delete all faithful cube. I'm gonna go and append. And by the way, each time that this little window appears, it's me pressing Q. And actually, wait, I have a tool for this. Okay, so you should now be able to see all my button clicks over here. So each time that this little window appears, it's me hitting Q, and those are my shortcuts that I've I've prepared. So for those of you who don't know how a pen works, you just go to file, a pen, and if you wanna begin doing the shortcuts, you just hit right click and you're gonna add to quick favorite. So for me it says remove because I already have it. But yeah, I'm gonna pen, gonna look for my file, which I know for a fact is, and we're gonna go inside collections and we'll look for workshop. There we go. Double click it, and here we should have everything referring to our model from textures to materials to precision to skeleton. It's a literal copy of the model in this Blender file. So after you've done that, I actually don't need this or this. I actually don't need that. So I'm just actually gonna do like a quick and simple animation, maybe I don't know, a wave, I guess. Nothing too complicated, just some basic animations that we can then export and make usable as an animation in Spatial. So what I have here is actually a Haikun that is already decimated, already optimized to work inside of Spatial, and the skeleton that you see here is generated by mixamo. So we know that it's a humanoid rig with all of the bones necessary for Unity to recognize that it's a human. And since it's already parented and rigged to our model, we should be able to, in pose mode, go ahead and move our skeleton bones and record those keyframes and export them as an animation. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna go with I'm already in pose mode. You can go into pose mode by selecting your skeleton and over here in the drop down select pose mode. Thing is, we might be seeing an animation that whenever we activate it might go from any state that it's in. For example, it doesn't matter. It's the same with the wave. Yeah, okay. Ignore what I said. So I don't know. So if we wanted to, if we want this to be the idle state or the start of the animation, we would just click on this phone because we wanted to do something like I don't know, this. But it's flipping a little bit here, but we can forgive that. It's not gonna be a perfect animation. So after we do that, we want to maybe go like this 3 times before going back to 0. Okay, okay, so all of that was to maybe map out the movement that I'm gonna be recreating. At least for the hand that's gonna be waving. So okay, so we're gonna start with this one with the location relation at what is supposed to be 0. Yeah, and you know what? I don't like I don't like working with this Worktanium. This actually like for I still haven't figured out how this one works, but it adds another value to the rotation, not just XYZ. So I just like to work with the normal XYZ. And guys, give me 1 second because my iPad is going to die. That's actually where I'm speaking from. By the way, I put this to charge, if there's any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. Yeesh. My iPad is burning. Oh, okay, we're plugged in. So yeah, I just didn't change the other one. You know what? It's okay. The only ones I'm gonna be using are these. So change. I want the rotation animation, starting the animation like that. So I'm gonna mark each of these. I'm going to erase, and then raise it a little bit. This one will be what I'm trying to recreate what would be like a motion, the motion of somebody actually like putting their arm up, give you away. Make me see. Okay, that looks decent. Okay, so after that, maybe this one would be. Nope, that actually cut the hole. I think I need to rotate this one a little bit. Actually, good thing. Rotate the other one. Okay, okay. So remember to put those keyframes in. Let's see how it looks. I mean, not bad. Oop. Okay, okay. So up until now, this is how it's looking. So kind of blocky, but bear with me. So once we have it up here, we will go side to side. So maybe let's do, I don't know, both sides. Oh, wait, wait. Here, rotation, and rotation. This one, what we're going to do is add 12. 12? We're going to go and do that. Supposed to be 0. Nope. What happened? Come on. Okay. Where am I? I will copy this. Yeah, let me copy that. Some of it. Lashing a little bit of fur. That's okay. And that is. Haha. Yeah, that's it. So let's see how that looks. Okay. Not gonna complain. At least kind of cool. And we make sure that he doesn't have any fur. Okay. Let me just see how. Now with that we have that. We gotta make sure that it cycles maybe 2 times and then goes back down. So to do that, um, duplicate. Okay. So this is 38, 48, like exactly 10 frames. And this has to go in 50. So it's next set. After that, we can actually put the hand down. So that it, we're gonna make the same. Um, so we have to leave this figure as like 30. Let's see how that looks. Okay. So, by the way, I added this one because while the hand is waving, this one is actually static. So, if I delete this, it'll automatically begin to transition to this one without staying still while you wait. So, if, let's see if I book it again. So here, I would actually begin over maybe to because we gotta leave it the same way that it began. Actually, we have we actually know where it began. So it's 0, 0, 0. Yep, because it's going back where it was. should be able to, if we set this, what's the last? It's 80. We set the end to 80. We should be able to see a loop of sorts. Ah, I mean, not bad, not bad. We definitely will know if it's our animation. So okay, now that we have that, this is where the actual uh depth of the experiment is gonna take place because this is where the export part comes in. Because we could do this, I could do this a couple different ways. Uh, Obviously, one more complicated than the other. But we're gonna try the easiest first, always. So that would be we have all of the animation set. Wait. I actually wanted to do this. I don't want it to look too weird. So that's gonna be the rest thing. Wait, these are gonna be our starting points, and I want it to and I'm not gonna try this. These are oh, come on, wait. So I did the same mistake that I always catch myself doing, which is rearranging the bones without having first moved the timelines. Gonna have to do that again. Sorry about that. So I wanted as soon as this. So so this was 9. I don't know if it's 10, but it's not. And log on the place back to the position. So they have to be in the same position for that moment and finish at 0. We, well, that was me trying to mimic like the way animation that the spatial has and put the feet together and like the other way. So, okay. I think I'm gonna animate this hand a little bit, and after that we can call it a day with the animation and begin exporting. So my apologies because I did say that the experimental part was gonna begin, but I got sidetracked. But anyways, let me do this real quick. This is gonna be a fairly simple animation because I just want to go again. At a little shoulder kind of thing, not too much. Stay like that. So what happened? Ouch. Okay. For that one, that to zero. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So, okay, so this would be a very good time to just hit that save cylinder file button, and we have done work. Uh, so this will be custom and cylinder. Okay. If, okay. So now we have everything saved. We have our animation set, loop, and it's actually a pretty good loop. It's 3 seconds. That's pretty good. Okay, so now begins the part. I'm gonna select everything in my hierarchy. We're gonna export this. We're gonna do it as an FBX. These settings are pretty much standard for importing anything into Unity or Spatial. We're gonna do face. Okay, so these are gonna be the key settings to correctly export and be able to use our animation. So the armature for most, I think the armature is less than the big animation itself because the armature is only referring to the orientation and, and how the bones are actually set up. And that's actually pretty standard. We don't have any much to say in that. So we're gonna look at the big animation. So we're gonna just like export it as it is, like with the default animation settings, and see how that treats us in Unity. So do look for your folder wherever you want to save it. Uh, so this is gonna be the save save. We're gonna take advantage that this is already open. We are going to do a new folder, and this will be the under anime text side of it. We're going to drop our recent export. We have it. If we click on it and go over to the inspector, we actually can see in the animation tab that there is something. If we play it, it seems to be working. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. Okay, so first thing that we have to do specify the humanoid aspect of the skeleton. We should have no problems, and we have no problems. And now we should see the animation as we did in on the first part of the workshop. So if we click on it and then hit Control D, we can export it from the model. This is good. This is good progress. So hmm, we're gonna do two things. We are going to make this an emote, and we're gonna do an avatar override. The avatar override, I'm not gonna publish it. I'm just gonna test it out. But I am gonna publish the way just cause. Okay, so we're gonna first do an empty game object. We're gonna call this wave emote. Spatial is V1. Avatar animation component. We're gonna drag our animation. Right? But actually, you know what? It's gonna be is Tycoon Wave. That's the name, Tycoon Wave. And once we have Tycoon Wave, we can set as a prefab. We're gonna go over here, avatar animation, create one, and Tycoon Wave. Remember that this is the name that will be visible for you once you can select it in the UI. Uh, Wave prefab. Let's test it. By the way, thank you to everyone that's been here, like watching this. It's been really dope. So props to you too. Okay, let's go for this to load up. Aha! So we should be able to see what was the emote that we were doing. But wait. Aha! We did it! So you see the weird transition that it does, since not everything was set up to be kind of human-like. It just goes back to the default pose. So if you're gonna be doing your default or your custom animations for spatial for your avatars, make sure that at least the transitions are a little bit seamless in that way, or you're gonna be getting the this like oh shit. So the wave, each time that you do the wave, it'll get you out of your normal pose and just strike your feet up together. And that's the same thing that's gonna happen with this one, but it's gonna first stick you into a pose because the other ones weren't animated. But yeah, like I'd say that this was a successful uh, experiment. Like we did it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and publish that one, and now we're gonna overwrite the avatar with it. That one is the one that I'm gonna only test. So, I'm over here. So I'm here. Since I already have Blender open, I'm gonna take advantage of that and actually do the thumbnail for the emote. And I don't really mind how it is with the lighting and everything because this is only something that I'm gonna be able to see, and I was actually gonna do it. pass. Wait. Um, Go over to your editor again. Drag it into your field. We should have no issues. We do not have any issues. I'm just gonna publish the amount. And while that processes, I'm just gonna go and do a custom avatar real quick that has the emotes built in. And you know what? I'm gonna do it so that it's always doing the wave if it's idle. So every time that you see how it's going, it's gonna be like waving at you. This, but like this isn't one that I'm gonna be publishing yet, so it's gonna be for a test. This we should be idle. We have a prefab. Get over here. Let's test it. Oh, and that's the issue. Ah, okay. So that's something actually I forgot to specify on the last video. The override, I didn't specify, but we did do it. The the animation that you're gonna be using for any of the overrides has to be set for loop time. Just check that box and you should be good to go. So I don't wanna mess up any of the other components I already set up here. So add this. Now I can delete this. Still have to save measures. How should be good for check for the issues. Ah, okay, so apparently you can't upload even to the sandbox an avatar that doesn't have all the fields. So we do have this. I'm just gonna use it this one. Aha, let's test it. So with this, once it loads, we have successfully exported an animation made from scratch in Blender and used it to power a an avatar in Unity. And by the way, we also successfully overrid the the animation in Spatial. So I actually set this one the wait animation that we did so that it's always being activated while it's in idle. So every time that you're not touching your avatar and it's not moving, it'll just be waving at everybody. But ooh, and I actually think it's the other one that's published. And here you can see the other one that just published. So we have everything nailed down. experiment more than successful, let's say.
Successful. Wow, what a great workshop today. Again, I know I've said it 100 times, but I swear I'll probably say it 100 more because we are super grateful for you guys taking the time to come, show us, and teach us. I love how we all were in the chat, talking about how as you start learning, you kind of get deterred and kind of not even want to look at this. Even myself, I'm like, I've downloaded Unity, but I'm not even ready to I got to start with how to connect with the Spatial, my whole YouTube playlist for everything that I have to do. But we have to just do it. And when we have a community like this where it's say, hey, we can get together, we're going to learn together, and those that have figured out certain things are going to look back and help those get to that next step is so important. So I definitely appreciate you guys for taking the time to do that. You guys are building amazing things yourself, and I think it just helps the whole metaverse community, as we all get stronger together. So thank you again for coming and sharing. Did anybody have any questions for the High Creators before we left? Thoughts, questions, or concerns? I know we have a fashion show that we're going to be planning for next season, and we're thinking about doing kind of like a few different workshops so that people can actually see this workshop, go do it, and then come back until they kind of get a finished product, and then we'll showcase it in like a fashion show style kind of thing. So and aside from that, we have had a few other requests like a workshop to see how to make an object play music. I think somebody has asked you guys individually, but if anybody that's watching has any tutorials that you want to watch or workshops that you want to have, make sure you drop it in the comments. Join our Discord, let us know, and we would definitely try to get it done. And is there anything else that the High Creators wanted to mention before we left? I see Shay said thanks a lot for the workshop. Anytime. Thanks for being here. But yeah, anything else you guys wanted to say before we left?
So, I just wanted to thank you and thank everybody that tuned in or will watch this at some point. It's really satisfying, being able to transmit all the knowledge that has been acquired with this, because we've ourselves been growing with Unity and Spatial as they have been, because I hadn't touched Unity until Spatial announced the Creator Toolkit, and as you have, as you have your playlist on YouTube, I have playlists for Blender for specific topics, for Unity. I have all of them, and if I say that I've watched maybe a quarter of them, I'd be lying. It's mostly just rough it out, kind of go through the dots, but it's a journey, but it's all those satisfying once you figure it out. And for anybody that is wanting a specific tutorial, like Picasso mentioned, for sure, drop it in the comments. I myself can say that I've been possibly through every error or through every headache working with the SDK and Unity itself. So I'm glad to alleviate or even avoid having you avoid those headaches if I can. So yeah, like I, I don't know what else to say, but thank you.
Sorry, yes, that was great enough. We definitely appreciate you guys for being here. And as you guys hear, this is not going to be the last. So just make sure you stay tuned. Follow them on social media so you can see what they have going on, because they have a lot more in store. Every Thursday, they also get together and actually explore their space or different spaces. So like I said, follow us, follow them, and stay tuned. Peace.